Mondstadt has so many windmills, doesn't it?
Well, the city is built above water, so it probably relies on windmills to draw the water upwards.
That's correct. The winds blow through Mondstadt all year, so this supply of water is very stable. Also, the windmills are what they call visible winds, and wind chimes are called the audible winds. Paimon guesses they can be thought of as mascots and prayers to the animal Archon for protection.
Ah, mascots. So, like you then, Paimon?
No, not at all! They're made of wood, and you can't eat them in an emergency either, 'cause all you'll do is grind your teeth down.
I don't know what to say to that. I've heard that if you give tavern owners a considerable tip, they'll be willing to share some information on the down low.
You mean the angels share? But Master D-Luke seems like a very rich man. How big a tip is considerable anyway?
Huh. Maybe I might have heard wrong. Or maybe I might have heard this rumor in another world.
You sure have been to many worlds, haven't you? Cider Lake never freezes, no matter what time of year it is. The best apple ciders in Mondstadt can only be made using the fresh water from this lake. It really does taste great. Paimon could drink 2 big bottles in a second.
Wow. With your size, I can't believe that you can drink that much liquid and not explode like an animo slime.
Paimon has a special stomach just for tasty drinks.
Huh. I guess the world really is a big place. So many things to consider. About those books in the restricted section that Lisa mentioned, have you ever wondered what sort of books might be kept in there? Perhaps it contains books not suitable for children?
Huh? But the Boar Princess isn't in the restricted section. What could be more unsuitable for children than that? Paimon's curious. Paimon finds that hard work hardly works here in Mondstadt.
Why do you say that?
Just look at Huffman from the Knights of Favonius. He does his best at his duties every day. But the ever-relaxed Captain Kaya is his boss.
But isn't Jean, who works the hardest, the acting Grand Master?
Well, how about this then? Venti's the god of Mondstadt, and he's the laziest of them all.
Sure would be nice to spend a night at the Goth Grand Hotel.
Paimon thinks so too. The rooms are sure to be big and clean.
Still, I've heard Mr. Goth say that they've had all kinds of strange problems ever since the Fatui moved in. The electro-sissons that their mages brought in attracted a lot of dust with static electricity, which ended up killing a lot of those sissons. Then, someone mixed up the mist grass pollen and the pepper, and the agents ended up brawling amongst themselves, each insisting that the other owed them money for wine.
Hang in there, Goth Grand Hotel.
Everyone says that Mondstadt is the land of the wind. But I wonder which direction the seasonal winds come from.
Why don't we ask Venti?
He'll probably just dodge the question with a heh or something.
True. The Animal Archon is just a tone-deaf bard. What does he know about the wind?
So here in Mondstadt, alchemy is practiced out on the streets?
Is that so strange?
In many of the worlds I've been to in the past, alchemy has always been a secretive art. Watching alchemy being practiced as a part of daily life is like being in a world where people all have 3 stomachs.
Paimon thinks only having 1 stomach is weird.
Are you serious?
What do you think?
Tevat's day and night both seem particularly short. The skies here are full of stars, but they aren't the same as the ones back home. I wonder if the fates of people from Tevat are also related to their constellations.
Oh? Do you know how to read the stars too? That's amazing! Not a lot of people outside Sumeru can do it. Paimon's curious. Come on, do a reading for me, quick!
The night sky pictured on Paimon's cape flows with the light of many stars, and also of the deep ocean. The movement of these stars tells me that, in, say, 7 days from now,
In 7 days what?
something good or something bad might occur.
Right. Your theory sounds as rock solid as a geo-slime. And about as brainy, too.
On the way back to Mondstadt after rescuing Dvalin, we finally got to see one of the 7 Archons, didn't we? It was interesting to see what kind of god he was.
Haven't we known Venti for quite a while now?
As Venti, yes. But still, this was the first time that we got to see him as the Animo Archon Barbados. Normally, he hides his true divinity behind the facade of a bard. What does freedom really mean when demanded of you by a god? That was the question that he asked Dvalin. I'm still contemplating that. You know?
Mondstadt is full of wide plains and rolling hills. People say that when Barbados made this land, he used the storm to flatten the cliffs and valleys.
Still, it looks like he missed a few spots.
Like Star Snatch Cliff?
Exactly. On the map, it almost looks as if it was meant to be the apex of a vertical structure, but ended up at the wrong orientation.
What's an apex? Paimon's heard that couplets are a traditional art form in Liyue. If you can write a line that works as a second half to one that someone else has written, you'll be well paid. But linking the couplet is hard, so it's not easy money. Not only does the rhythm need to match, but the meaning has to as well.
Care to give an example?
Wind rises, winds never churn.
But the sea of clouds always return.
Not bad. Let's not waste time here. We've got some money to make. There's a saying of Rex Lapis that's commonly used here in Liyue. Paimon thinks its rough meaning is don't play with your money. It's because the first Mora were minted from his golden form and given to humans in trust.
Kaya sure seems to enjoy playing with his money.
And that's why you shouldn't learn from him.
Well, as a child, I was taught not to play with my food.
Yup. You've got to respect your food. What are you looking at Paimon for? Walk in 7 clockwise circles, then walk in 7 anti-clockwise circles. Then open your eyes.
Are you sleepwalking?
Nope. Paimon is just trying to see if that antique shop from Heart's Desire actually exists.
Well, assuming that a shop in a story does exist, what would you like to buy, Paimon?
A slime creator.
Does such a thing even exist? Lately, some Guhua clan disciples have been retelling an ancient story.
The Guhua clan, huh? Paimon bets it's a heroic story.
Several female disciples decided to partake of a contest of arms to see who would marry their male junior, and he approved.
Ooh, Paimon's heard this one. In Liyue, they call this a joust for a spouse.
But the night before the contest, he stole the eldest disciple's favorite sword.
Ah, so he wanted her to lose. Poor girl.
I know, right? Forced to use a sword she wasn't used to, the eldest disciple suffered a crushing defeat. Unable to accept this result, she fell to her knees and wept.
Oh no! She must have really loved him, right?
In the end, She was forced to marry him in front of everyone.
Wait, so the loser had to marry him? Did you know the reeds in Dihua Marsh are common materials used in making paper? The solid reed cores are used to make pens, while the hollow part is used to make flutes. It's all very sophisticated. Over the years, many heroes and swordsmen have also chosen Dihua Marsh as the location of their duels. The more reeds, the more elegant the place. But in places where the reeds are the thickest, the water can be quite deep. So there are a lot of unlucky duelists who fall in and drown while the duel is on.
Huh. And what's my takeaway from all of this supposed to be?
Don't get into a fight in Dihua Marsh. Paimon's heard that in Liyue, people call the crane the gentleman bird.
And do you know why that is?
Paimon's not quite sure.
Well then, let me tell you about the story of the lucky crane repaying its debts. A long, long time ago, there was a kind-hearted scholar who saved a lucky crane that had fallen into a trap. Later, on a cold winter's night, a beautiful maiden came to his door asking to lodge with him. The maiden shouldered a great sword on her back and taught all that she knew of swordsmanship to the scholar, supervising him as he studied day and night.
Wow!
Once he had finished his training, he went out into the wilds with the maiden to do good and fight for justice. 10 years later, the lucky crane took the form of a gentleman and finally came to return the favor, but discovered the couple had already lived out a fortuitous life. And that's the story known as the gentleman's 10-year debt.
Ah!
Rumor has it that Jueyun Karst is the abode of the Adepti.
Wow! The abode of the Adepti!
Perhaps we'll meet the Adepti on those cloud-piercing mountain peaks.
Wow! Meeting Adepti!
But I wonder, how would one normally communicate with the Adepti?
Wow! Communicating with Adepti!
My emergency rations seem to be going bad. Best to consume them quickly.
Ahem! Well, Paimon thinks that shouting from the mountaintop should work.
That seems more like a way for getting the attention of a hilly churl instead of an Adeptus. To think that the Geo-Archon had signed a contract with the Cryo-Archon. I wonder what the contents of their agreement were.
Paimon doesn't care who you are. Making a deal with the Tsaritsa is super dangerous.
Be that as it may, since Morax is the god who understands the basis of contracts the best, he's definitely given this some thought.
Well, that's true. Morax himself called it the contract to end all contracts.
I trust that we will witness the truth and its denouement play out.
Well, come to think of it, while Rex Lapis enjoys visiting his people in private, he only descends officially once every year. None of the other gods do this. Does Rex Lapis have any deeper intentions?
I have my guesses. You see, those annual divine predictions have already captured the hearts of the people of Liyue too much. Round and around, they analyze and scrutinize every single word, finding limitless hidden meanings within them. What do you think would happen to Liyue if such divine predictions were available every day?
Ah! Paimon gets it now. Paimon would be offering Rex Lapis's favorite snacks to him every day. If you could just get Mora straight from Morax's hands, who would ever need to do a day of honest work?
You made some logical leaps, but that's basically how it is.
If you want to adventure together with Benny's adventure team, you have to come prepared. Domains are very dangerous, so you should always take care to double and triple check your supplies in advance. Paimon's heard that the Adventurers Guild has compiled a list of 463 different ways of dying in these domains. If Bennett got you killed by accident, Paimon and Bennett would never forgive ourselves.
Why am I the only one dying here?
Well, that's because according to the numbers, Paimon can avoid 322 causes of death just by floating.
I suddenly don't feel like exploring these domains. I've heard that Albert, being the leader of Barbara's fan club, sometimes gets bumps and bruises on purpose so that he can go to the cathedral to see her.
Paimon feels the Knights of Favonius should keep a closer watch on weirdos like that.
But it seems that a month later, Albert discovered that Bennett was managing to see Barbara far more than he was. On second thought, Bennett does have the natural advantage when it comes to getting injured.
What is this? A Let's Bother Barbara contest? Barbara's really popular, isn't she?
Well, she is the idol of the people of Mondstadt.
Come to think of it, Paimon doesn't really know what an idol is.
It's an occupation in which one's work is to be cute, be well-loved, and earn a boatload of mora.
Isn't that the same thing as being a mascot?
That's one way to put it. Lisa and Amber feel a bit like sisters.
Huh? Why's that?
Amber often runs errands for Lisa. Older siblings asking their younger siblings to do things for them so they can slack off is a rather common practice. But my brother and I are the same age, so we had to decide these things via rock, paper, scissors.
Whoa! So doesn't that make you my younger sister?
What do you mean?
Well, since Paimon floats, you're the only one who can run any errands.
Seriously? Paimon, have you ever seen what Kaya looks like under that eye patch?
Nope.
So it would seem that he never takes it off.
Actually, Paimon already knows why.
Oh?
He must be hiding some big secret.
Really? A secret?
See, Kaya heads out for assignments more than anyone else. So the skin under that eye patch has to be way lighter than the rest of him.
So if he ever takes that eye patch off...
He'll definitely become the butt of everyone's jokes. Maybe he'll even get a weird nickname. Like, say, Pasty Eye.
Guess he didn't need to take it off to get a weird nickname.
Strange.
What's wrong?
Diluc and Kaya are really alike, so why don't they get along?
How are they alike again?
Well, Kaya's the kind of guy who acts shady in the light of day, while Diluc is a shining beacon of justice in the dark of night. Don't you think that's kinda the same thing?
I still don't see it. If one hilly churl could beat, say, 3 wild boars, then how many hilly churls would it take to reach the fighting prowess of Master Jean and Master Diluc?
Not sure. But if you heard the way everyone talks in Mondstadt, you'd know that Master Jean is the strongest.
I'd say that if Diluc strikes first, Master Jean wouldn't be able to counter.
Oh, she'd find a way.
There's no way.
Master Jean's elemental burst is really strong, you know.
Yes, but that field would also make Diluc stronger.
Paimon doesn't think Master Jean would even need her vision to take on Master Diluc because...
Diluc would only need a beginner's greatsword to... This is so dumb. They both fight for Mondstadt, so they wouldn't come to blows.
That's why Paimon likes your idea of measuring their fighting strength in number of hilly churls. Or, in Paimon's case, in fifths of a wild boar. You know what a brush is, right?
Of course. Kinda like pens, but with animal hair at one end for calligraphy, right?
That's correct. They say that finely made brushes sell for high prices among Liyue's merchants.
So, would you like to make some too?
Uh-huh. But wild wolves are too fierce, so we should use Razor's fur to make brushes instead. Razor's fur is all downy and soft. It'll definitely make great wolf fur brushes. We could make lots of more like this.
Brushes made like that would conduct electricity. I'm not sure we could use them. Besides, Razor isn't a wolf, nor are wolf brushes made from actual wolf's fur.
Huh? Why are they called wolf fur brushes then?
Well, does Cider Lake look like it's full of cider to you?
You have a point. Klee's a really interesting kid. All the knights seem to like her a lot too. You could even say they spoil her.
I wonder, who makes the better mascot, Paimon or Klee? Oh wait, I forgot. Paimon's not a mascot. Paimon is emergency.
Hey! Paimon knows exactly what you're going to say. That joke stopped being funny a long time ago. It's time for Paimon's Little Life Tips.
Little life tips?
In Mondstadt, if there's something you can't fix, or there's something you can't get clean no matter what you do, if you ever run into something you can't handle yourself, you just need to shout this name into the skies. Noel! And everything that's troubling you will be swept away in an instant.
So this is one of the tricks to living in Mondstadt. Pretty impressive.
Fischl makes a very unique impression, doesn't she?
How so?
Well, she travels together with a talking raven for starters.
While I'm traveling with you, it's not all that different. Still, Oz can also translate for Fischl. You, on the other hand.
What? Paimon's way better than some bird.
How so?
Well, at least Paimon doesn't need wings to fly.
Speaking of Fischl, she also claims to be a visitor from another world. We're similar in that way. We even bring a pet along with us.
Pat? Now wait just a minute here.
But her raven Oz, he looks cool and is polite to boot. More importantly, he can both scout and fight. Very useful indeed. Maybe I should make arrangements with Fischl to trade companions once in a while, for, say, a week or two at a time. It should be quite interesting.
Hey! Doesn't Paimon get a say in this? How do you become as popular and cool as Captain Beto?
With enough experience?
Paimon's already seen lots of things from adventuring together with you.
One also needs to experience trials and setbacks.
Paimon almost drowned that one time.
And maintain an inspirational disposition.
Uh-huh. Paimon's always rooted for you.
One must also have a mature outlook towards problems.
Hey, are you just trying to say that Paimon can't make it? How does a person become as rich, no, as super rich as Lady Ningguang?
Is that the only impression she gives you? Riches?
Well, there's the huge jade chamber too. But isn't that also made of Mora?
Well, you need an excellent mind.
Well, Paimon's really good at giving people nicknames.
You need to be very familiar with the workings of the markets.
A serving of fisherman's toast goes for 1,025 Mora, and no discounts, even on rainy days.
You also need to be willing to work really hard.
Okay, then. So, how do you make friends with a really rich person?
Wait, you're giving up already?
Do you think that Chi-Chi needs to drink blood?
That's not a zombie, Paimon. That's a vampire.
Then, Will she transform during a full moon?
Werewolves, Paimon, not zombies.
Huh. As expected of a traveler, you really know a lot. So, what special things can zombies do?
Exercises?
Ah, that makes a lot of sense. So the ones that do exercises are zombies. Got it. Come on, Paimon will teach you how to fly. 3, 2, 1.
Paimon's gone. Well, whatever. I'm tired. Let's just sit here for a bit. I'm flying with you in my heart.
What sort of slime do you like the most?
Cryo slimes, I think. You feel cold just getting close to them. You'll need that sort of thing in summer.
That's very practical, as expected of a traveler.
What about you, Paimon?
Paimon likes them all. They're all very tasty.
Tasty, huh?
Turning slimes into bubbly, lovely, jubbly meals is the Paimon special.
Well then. I suppose that's one more thing I can eat before you become emergency rations, huh, Paimon?
Paimon would rather not be on that list at all.
Do you think that we're too harsh on the hilly churls?
Well, sometimes we really do seem like children who just can't resist kicking the hornet's nest.
I think we're doing more than just kicking it. The Sleeper Tribe. The hilly churls sure have interesting tribe names.
The Sleeper Tribe will take any opportunity they can to take a nap. Paimon's heard that their animal skin beds are really soft. Would you like to try them?
Not gonna try it yourself, Paimon?
Paimon can sleep while floating. The air is the softest bed. Pretty sweet, huh?
Just a little. The Meaty Tribe, huh? These hilly churls pick the funniest names.
The hilly churls of the Meaty Tribe make regular sacrifices. The altars they build are really huge.
What do they pray for?
For meat to eat every day. It's an awesome wish, isn't it?
I suppose I should have expected that answer. The Eclipse Tribe. Huh. So the hilly churls have normal-sounding tribe names like these, too.
The hilly churls of the Eclipse Tribe are really mysterious. All the hilly churls of that tribe can draw an eclipse symbol. But rumor has it that only the Todas churl of the Eclipse Tribe knows why the eclipse symbol is so revered within their tribe.
An eclipse symbol.
Did you say something?
I was asking you what sort of soup you'd like to have tonight.
Can't stop thinking about food, huh? Seems like you'd be more at home in the Meaty Tribe than the Eclipse Tribe. But anyway, Paimon wants boar soup. Thanks! Paimon doesn't feel so good.
What's the matter?
Paimon hasn't opened a treasure chest in so long. If this keeps up... Ooh...
If this keeps up, you'll one day get caught in a hunting trap with a single Mora as bait.
Hey! Paimon floats, so that'll never work. Wow, we've really had a lot of good food recently, haven't we? You know what they say, have food will travel.
Won't you be unable to fly if you get fat?
Nope, Paimon never gets fat.
Huh.
So Paimon demands more food.
Ever eating, but never growing. Don't you fail as emergency rations, then?
Yeah. Well, it sure doesn't look like you have any other candidates, so you'll have to make do with Paimon. Which do you like more, cats or dogs?
I prefer Paimon.
Aw, that's cheating. Wait, no, Paimon's not a pet. People say that if you put a star conch close to your ear, you can hear the whispers of the ocean.
Do you want to give it a go, Paimon?
No need. Paimon just heard it.
Really? And what did the ocean say?
The ocean said that it's time to eat, so let's go. Paimon wants some fisherman's toast. We should get something tasty to eat. But Paimon doesn't want to have to go get it.
Shall we decide with a game of rock, paper, scissors then?
Ooh, okay.
Great. All right, ready? Rock, paper...
Super Paimon Tornado!
What?
Paimon's been working so hard recently. Any ideas on how to relax?
Sleeping?
Sleeping's boring.
Reading?
Paimon will get dizzy.
Okay. Having a chat with some friends?
But those are all things that require thinking. And not thinking is more relaxing.
And thus, the Paimon paradox, famed in the histories of philosophy in Tibet, was put forth. Liyue's cuisine is very different from that of Mondstadt. For example, in Mondstadt, you can hardly find spicy fried dishes anywhere.
That's why they say climate creates cuisine, you know? But wait, why do all of Tibet's slimes taste the same then?
That's because you only know one way of cooking them.
Wow, a weasel thief's backpack can really hide a lot of mora.
Well, it's because weasels by nature enjoy collecting shiny objects.
Paimon's heard that the origin of the weasel thieves has something to do with the treasure hoarders. Also, aren't crows the type to collect shinies as well? Paimon wonders if Oz has a secret stash of mora that he collects behind Fischl's back.
Well, now that you mention it, Paimon, I wonder, do you have...
Nope, nothing here. You won't find any mora in Paimon's shoes. No way.
Paimon, have you ever read Vera's Melancholy before?
Well, it sure sounds familiar.
That book's pretty popular, and I've heard that the author made a tidy sum off of it.
Paimon would love to make lots and lots of mora. It's decided then. Paimon will write an adventure story as well.
A Tale of Adventure by Paimon?
Correct. It'll be a story in which the brave traveler defeats the dragon, saves the world, and then sits down with her reliable companion for 10 servings of sticky honey roast.
10?
Uh-huh. A happy ending attracts the readers after all. It's decided then. We'll call it Paimon's Happiness.
Wait, what?
Have you ever had one of those super scary nightmares?
I've dreamt of falling through endless darkness without a wind glider. I've also dreamt of my brother walking away from me while I'm unable to catch up to him no matter how fast I run. He tells me that I've come too late.
Oh, yours are quite different from the ones that Paimon's had. Paimon's scariest dream was being eaten by a super giant slime.
I wonder where those treasure-chasing Seelie come from.
Maybe they grow out of the ground. Or maybe they fall from trees. Well, Paimon doesn't know where they come from, but where there are Seelie, treasure's not far away.
Still, why do I feel a certain sadness every time they touch those treasures? No, it's probably just my imagination.
Well, if you don't want the treasure, Paimon can hang on to it for you, free of charge. Has anyone left a big impression on you during our recent travels? For Paimon, that's Sarah.
Timmy.
Huh? Why him?
His face comes to mind every time I've eaten a sweet madame recently. Really makes it hard to chow down.
You learn new things so quickly. You've already got such a good grasp of Tevat's language.
You're a good teacher, Paimon. Who knows? Maybe the quality of your nasty nicknames will improve someday. What monster made the deepest impression on you?
Monsters, huh? Probably ruin guards.
Does a ruin guard really count as a monster? It's more like a machine.
Paimon thinks that you can call anything that causes us trouble and needs to be defeated a monster. Just like how we call anything that can be hunted prey.
Is that so? Well then, I think I'm finally able to classify you now, Paimon.
Huh? What do you mean?
You can be hooked and reeled in. Therefore, you're a fish.
Hey, do that again! You know, that thing!
Which one?
The one where you make your weapon disappear with a swish, and then whoosh! You make it appear behind your back again!
Oh, that. Haven't you seen that a ton already?
But Paimon hasn't figured out how you do it yet. Could you explain it?
Well, can you explain how you suddenly appear in front of me and then disappear just as suddenly?
Well, Paimon seems to have always been able to do this, but Paimon doesn't know how.
Precisely. I believe that the art of putting my weapon away follows the same principle. Maybe it's this similarity that makes us such good friends.
What do you think of treasure chests?
I believe that they were left behind by great travelers who once passed this way. Every time I open one and look at its contents, I can feel a certain kinship with those who came before.
And that's how you get adventure experience. Look into Paimon's eyes.
Something the matter?
Kaya said that people's eyes will betray them. He can tell if someone is telling the truth or not just by looking into their eyes.
Huh.
Paimon loves fisherman's toast.
That should be the truth. Well, that's also because you love everything that can be eaten. Speaking of looking into people's eyes, I remember one gaze that left a particularly deep impression on me.
Whose gaze was that?
A ruin guard's. Really made me want to poke its eye out.
Paimon's so bored. So tired.
Well, since we're bored either way, wanna imitate the other knights for fun?
Huh? Isn't that a bit disrespectful?
Haha, I see you already have the knightly virtue of modesty and politeness. Very impressive.
Hey, Paimon sees what you're doing. Cut it out.
Huh? Are there pigeons around?
No, Paimon's just hungry. What Paimon needs right now is a traveler who can whip up some delicious sticky honey roast. So, who's gonna be the lucky traveler? It's hard to talk about the recent events in Inazuma and not mention the Vision Hunt decree. But you don't have a vision, so you don't have to worry about losing one. On the flip side, if you are caught by the Tenryou Commission, you also can't surrender your vision in exchange for your life.
I can tell them that you are my vision.
Another reason to have Paimon around. Wait, what?
Don't worry, I wouldn't let them take you, Paimon.
That's more like it.
We'd just go to jail and suffer punishment together.
Well, if that's how it would go down, then maybe you should hand me over to them. What minute. How about we just don't get caught in the first place? Only the ones who have the will to fight back are allowed into the resistance. Huh. In that case, Paimon also qualifies as a member.
And what exactly are you trying to resist, Paimon?
Paimon has been resisting against the fate of being squished all this time.
Then you probably won't get in.
Why? Is it because Paimon isn't fighting for the same cause as the resistance?
It's because you're fighting for a lost cause, I'm afraid.
You meanie! Kamui Cannon? Kamui Juicy Cannon? Kamui Jimmy Cannon? Ugh, what a mouthful.
What are you reading, Paimon?
Look, it's the super weapon the Shogunate army has constructed nearby to protect Tarasuna. Kamui Jima Cannon!
It looks really powerful. And yet, we didn't see it do anything while we were in Tarasuna.
It seems like the resistance knew how strong it was. So before formally waging war against the Shogunate, they had covertly occupied this place. But this Kamui Jima Cannon needs either special ammunition or electro to work, so it's no use to the resistance. The Shogunate army put so much time and effort into creating this weapon, Paimon really wants to see the extent of its power.
If all you need is an electro user, perhaps I can help.
That's right! Now we just need something that would serve as our cannonball. Huh? Why are you giving me that look? Hey! You know what? When we first arrived at the Komori tea house, Paimon really thought that Tarumaru would be able to speak.
You sound a bit disappointed.
Of course! If Tarumaru could speak, Paimon feels that he'd say something really interesting.
For example?
Toma! Stop hiding around here! You're in my way! Woof!
That makes sense.
Or, Kozue! You're bound to me for the rest of your life unless our contract is terminated! Woof woof!
You didn't believe Kozue when she said she'd signed a secret contract forcing her to work part-time at the tea house, did you?
Oh! Paimon just thought of another one! This one's quite good! Just look at this visitor. Paimon, is it? Look how cute and clever she is. Today, all her meals are on the house. Woof!
There's no way Tarumaru would say something like that. What are you mulling over, Paimon?
Do you remember Goro's fluffy ears? Paimon really wants something like that. Oh! Or maybe horns similar to the ones Ganyu has! Ganyu's horns are pretty cute as well. Do you have any ideas?
Let me see. Oh! I found something!
Really? Aw, Paimon always knew you were reliable.
Ta-da! I present to you the tusk of Monoceros Chaly.
Paimon doesn't need that. If Paimon can't have Goro's fluffy ears, then maybe at least something like his fluffy tail.
Bum-ba-da-da! Here you go. Tail of Boreas.
Not that! Also, combining those two is definitely not the look Paimon is going for. It's amazing that Inazuma has places like the Yai Publishing House, which specializes in publishing novels. They even host competitions. Wow.
If that's the case, then perhaps you can submit a draft of the book you've been working on, Paimon's Happiness.
Well, about that. Paimon has misplaced the drafts on our way to Inazuma.
Really?
Fine! Paimon hasn't started writing it yet. It's not Paimon's fault. Paimon's been meaning to do it, but 3 days ago, Paimon's pen broke. And the day before yesterday, Paimon had hand cramps. Yesterday, a sprained foot. Today, Paimon's hungry.
It sounds like you'll sooner write 1,000 excuses with Paimon than Paimon's happiness.
Kazuha is a free spirit, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, he seems to be a bit of a loner, too.
Being able to explore the world at his leisure while savoring the beauty of everything around him? That doesn't sound too shabby. You aren't thinking of sneaking off to go on a solo adventure, right?
Aw, I would never leave you, Paimon.
Aw, Paimon's really happy to hear that. Here, have this.
Monthly food expenses? 300,000 mora?
Hey, wait! Where are you going?
I suddenly feel like going solo. Maybe it's not a bad idea after all.
Please don't go! Wait for Paimon!
Paimon, you look so serious today.
That's because Paimon's thinking about serious things. Paimon's jealous of people from wealthy and influential families. They have an endless supply of mora and mountains of delicious food to eat.
I can't disagree. Those are exactly the things you're fond of.
But after getting to know Ayaka better, Paimon realized that a young lady from a noble family can also have her share of hardships. She needs to shoulder her clan's duties and responsibilities. She works so hard and has very little time for herself. Ayaka must be exhausted. She should try to relax a bit. Ah, that's right! Let's invite Ayaka to the next festival! If she got an invite from us, there's no way she'd refuse!
Yeah, I'd like to go to another festival with her.
Besides, if Ayaka's around, she can pick up the tab for us.
I should have seen that coming.
Ayaka gives a sense of noble elegance with every gesture she makes.
Can you do an Ayaka impression, Paimon?
Let's give it a try. Oh my, you've been picking mushrooms so earnestly just to make chicken mushroom skewers for me? How cute.
That was nothing like Ayaka. But even though you didn't sound like yourself, it didn't feel completely out of place for you either.
It's a well-established tradition that during Inazuman celebrations, everyone's wearing festive masks. Paimon tried to look around the stalls, but hasn't found any mask that fits.
So, you really want a mask of your own?
Of course! Not wearing a mask during an Inazuman festival is the same as not receiving a bouquet at the Windbloom Festival.
Let me make one for you.
Whoa! You're the best!
I wonder what kind of mask will fit you best. How about a slime mask?
Yay! Paimon slime! Do you think Yoimiya's dad's poor hearing is related to fireworks? He's been making and testing fireworks for many years now, and being exposed to the sound of gunpowder explosions on a daily basis. Oh, Paimon can see how that might have worn down his ears. Yikes! Since Yoimiya is inheriting her family's business, does that mean she'll have trouble hearing other people in the future? Just like her dad? Paimon won't let that happen. Let's think of some way to help her.
Do you have any suggestions, Paimon?
Oh, Paimon could follow Yoimiya around and cover her ears whenever needed.
Then you'd need to leave me.
Oh, without Paimon, you'd lose your guide. Paimon wouldn't leave you like that. But what should we do for Yoimiya?
Actually, she can simply wear earplugs while working with fireworks.
Oh, yeah! Paimon didn't think of that solution. You're so smart.
That was the first thing that came to my mind, but I wanted to give you an opportunity for a mental workout.
Ah! So you knew this whole time but didn't tell Paimon? How could you, you bully? Sayu seems to have a lot on her mind. Paimon can't understand why she'd have so many worries.
I guess this is what they call growing pains.
Paimon can't relate to that. After all, it's not Paimonly to worry too much.
Bad news. We're almost out of Mora. I guess we'll have to tighten the purse strings for the next few days.
What? No!
See? You're not as carefree as you thought.
Oh, how could you break Paimon like that? Those Onikabuto bugs look so scary. The patterns on their backs are terrifying.
Do you mean those demonic patterns? It's because they don't like to fight. So they purposefully evolve their patterns in a way that scares their enemies away.
That's really smart. We should try to learn a thing or two from them. We could borrow Xiao's mask. If a Hilly-Churl saw you wearing it, do you think they'd run in fear?
I don't think Xiao would agree to that.
Yeah. How about we ask Sayu to steal his mask for us? She knows ninjutsu that allows her to vanish into thin air. She can steal it for sure. Problem solved. If we are afraid of Xiao evening the score with us, how about we steal Child's mask? We've kicked his butt many times before.
I don't think stealing other people's belongings is a good idea. Also, what if Sayu doesn't agree to all this?
Then let's visit Albedo first. If Albedo can develop a growth serum for Sayu, she'll help us for sure.
Brilliant. Now we just need you to come up with a way to make Albedo help us.
Paimon's head is going to explode. Let's stick to festival masks for now. Even though knotweed has a flower-like structure, its petals are in fact leaves. Its actual bloom is rather fragile, so the surrounding leaves try their hardest to grow strong and protect it. Just like Paimon is protecting you right now.
Just like you? Oh, is knotweed edible too?
Yeah, that's right. Wait, what are you trying to say? Did you know the people of Inazuma use the vibrations of knotweed to forecast thunderstorms? Because knotweed grows in areas that are infused with electro. It's naturally drawn to thunder and lightning.
Does that mean knotweed is similar to you, Paimon?
How so?
Because you usually hang out in areas infused with gourmet food and are naturally drawn to tasty snacks.
That's true.
Paimon radar activated.
Beep, 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 beep. Delicacies, here we go! The blossoms drifting down from the sacred sakura are so dazzling. Paimon heard that those flower petals can stay suspended in the air for so long because of being infused with electro.
Is it the same principle behind your levitation abilities?
That's because...
You do know what allows you to fly, don't you, Paimon?
Paimon can fly because of, mysterious powers, obviously.
Got it. Seems like you have no idea. How about we let Albedo do some research? He's good at cracking such mysteries.
Please don't. Lavender melons sure are useful. Their flesh can be eaten, and their skin can be processed to make dyes.
Paimon sure is useful. She can serve as my guide, and she can also give other people ugly nicknames.
Yep, thank you for your validation. Wait a minute. Is there more? Is Paimon about to get roasted? Paimon's gonna cover your mouth to stop you from talking. Have you noticed? In Inazuma, people who wear swords on their waists are a minority. Most soldiers use spears. Could it be that swords are a symbol of status? Should we wear them as well? But the swords here are all too big for Paimon. There's no other way. We'll have to find a famous swordsmith to make a custom one.
A custom-made sword will cost a lot of Mora, though.
Are you saying that Mora is more important than the desires of your lovely companion?
Actually, I've already prepared something for you, Paimon.
Really? Really? Let's have a look! Hey! Isn't that the knife we use to cut fruit?
Well, at least it's the right size for you. Ahem. What matters isn't the value of the sword. It's the fighting spirit.
Nice try, but Paimon won't fall for this, no matter how cool it sounds. Did you know there are hot springs in Inazuma?
But there are no volcanoes.
Paimon heard that the heat comes from a giant furnace. If we get the chance, Paimon also wants to check out a hot spring. Unfortunately, it seems like only the big shots are granted entry.
Let's head back to the Dadaupa Gorge in Mondstadt.
Huh? Why so sudden?
Back in the Dadaupa Gorge, the hilly churls have a huge cauldron that's heated by flaming flowers. It should be similar to a hot spring, right? You can bathe in their... soup, I guess.
In Inazuma, it's customary for parents to choose a lucky name for their child.
Those names symbolize everyone's expectations and wishes for the child, like prosperity, wealth, good health, and safety.
Because of these expectations, parents often pick extra long names and cram all sorts of blessings into them.
So, hypothetically, if one day a little girl fell into a lake on her way back home, then her friends might rush to her house to tell everyone, "Something bad happened!"
Oh, what happened?
Oswaldo Hrafnevines, Prinzessin de Verteilung, Fischl von Lufschloss Narfadort, come quick! Centennial genius astrologist Mona Magistus has fallen into the water!
Mona falling into the water doesn't sound like an emergency situation, though.
Precisely. The fast-swimming Mona would come back home around the same time her friends are done saying her name.
Inazuma's scenery is quite different than what we've seen so far.
Yeah, Inazuma's an island nation.
Before the invention of boats, how did the people living on different islands communicate with one another?
According to Yoimiya's dad, they probably used smoke signals to transmit information. Or they would...
Yeah?
They would commission people who could freeze the water surface to travel between the islands and deliver messages.
Whoa! If Kaya had lived in Inazuma back then, he would have been even busier than Master Jean now. Tanuki are really mysterious creatures.
I think they're really cute.
Yeah, they're cute until they start talking.
I wonder, if you couldn't talk, would you appear to be more mysterious and noble?
Are you trying to mock me?
Ha 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 ha.
Did anyone tell you that there are monsters called Tanuki in Inazuma that can take on the form of any human they see?
I've heard such rumors before. They must know some mysterious transformation techniques.
What if one day a Tanuki tricked you by transforming into Paimon? Oh no, Paimon's worried now.
No worries, I'd surely be able to tell the difference. Wait! You're just concerned about my Mora, aren't you?
Of course! No! Paimon's only concerned about your safety. Stop looking at Paimon like that. Look, just think about it. If there were two Paimons, how would you find out which one is the real one? What do you mean, hee-hee?
See? Only the real Paimon would respond like that.
Paimon got tricked again. We've been passing by a lot of small shrines lately, but none of them seem to be dedicated to the Electro Archon.
They were probably built for lesser deities. The people of Inazuma believe that everything around them has a spirit, and those spirits will help them in their time of need.
Oh, so the people make shrines for them and give them offerings.
Yeah, in a way, it's a form of prayer and a token of appreciation.
Paimon gets it now. Let's find Ayaka and have her put up a shrine for us. If we do that, we'll be able to get lots of offerings as well. Paimon's so happy.
that an acceptable thing to do?
What's wrong? Haven't we been helping out everyone this whole time? We may be doing an even better job than those deities.
You do have a point. But when I picture people placing flowers or fruits in front of a shrine for me, it doesn't feel right. It never stops raining on Yashiori Island. I heard it's because of the lingering evil energy.
Evil energy? What's that? Sounds terrifying.
It's caused by the remains of an evil god somewhere on the island. Because its power hasn't fully dispersed, the remaining energy causes all sorts of misfortunes. That's what I meant when I said evil energy.
Oh, that makes sense. But Paimon doesn't think rain is a bad thing. Maybe that god has been crying all this time because they were bullied.
Crying? I don't think gods can cry. I mean, I've never seen Venti or Zhongli cry before.
There are exceptions. If you pinch Paimon, you'll be able to see a crying god.
Are you a god?
Paimon sure is.
Okay, let me guess. The flying god of silly questions? The god of slimes? Or the god of being fished out from the water?
Paimon's none of those. As your bodyguard, Paimon is the god of protection.
In Hanamizaka, there's a place called the Bantan Sango Detective Agency.
Paimon remembers. It's the one run by Sango and Ryuji, right? Everyone speaks highly of them.
I heard that they frequently get caught up in strange incidents, and some places have banned them from entering their premises.
Paimon thinks that's undeserved. After all, Sango and Ryuji have helped a lot of people.
Would you invite them if you were organizing a dinner party? What if halfway through the meal, one of the guests suddenly shrieked and collapsed onto the ground?
If that's the case, then Paimon thinks it's a bad idea. Paimon suddenly feels that hanging out with them could be dangerous.
Well, that's the price you pay for being a famous detective.
Oh, yeah! Have you drawn fortune slips at the shrine before? If we draw them before our next adventure, they may provide us with some guidance.
But what if our draws are inauspicious or turn out to be a bad omen? If that happened, we'd probably end up in a bad mood.
Oh, that's fine. According to the Shrine Maidens, if someone draws a bad omen, they just need to hang it on a tree in the shrine. So we should keep on drawing and drawing until we get a super lucky draw. Then we'll hang all the bad ones on the tree.
If everyone did that, there'd be no more space left to hang the slips.
Muso no Hitotachi is amazing! It can beat any enemy with a single slash!
But for Child, it might need 3 slashes.
Yeah. Anyway, if you mastered that technique, Paimon wouldn't have to worry about you for the rest of our journey.
So where can one learn that technique?
Yeah, where can one learn that technique? Quit looking at Paimon like that! Oh, okay. Paimon will keep an eye on you during our adventures. Did you know that Sanga no Miyakokomi, she's Watatsumi Island's divine priestess? In other words, she's the ruler of Watatsumi Island. The whole of Watatsumi Island is controlled by her. Paimon also wants to become a big shot like her.
What will you do after you become a big shot?
Then Paimon will deliver justice. For example, the suspect in question, known as the Traveler, ate 2 dango for lunch and only gave 1 to the victim, Paimon. This is a serious violation of Article 37, Fairness and Justice of the Paimon Decree.
Oh, may I ask how Your Excellency Paimon plans to resolve this issue?
Of course! As compensation for your wrongdoings, you will have to make even more dango for Paimon! Paimon wonders what the previous shogun was like.
It appears that she was a person who understood the fleeting nature of things and accepted the inevitable fate of departing this world one day.
After all, realizing the fragility of things in front of you makes you treasure them even more.
This way of thinking must have influenced Inazuma's aesthetics. This world is transient. People come and go. The fun times we shared, our companionship, and the delicious foods we got to savor. Those emotions and experiences are real things that existed at some point in time, not just empty concepts.
Even though every banquet must eventually come to an end, it'd be nice to enjoy those happy moments for a little longer.
Shifting seasons and elusive dreams, the ephemeral and fleeting, with thine companionship, all are eternal.
Paimon doesn't get it.
I'm saying that I'm having a lot of fun traveling with you, Paimon. It'd be nice if we could just go on like this forever.
Paimon will take your word for it then. The clothes that the Shrine Maidens wear are quite unique.
I heard that after the Sakoku decree is lifted, Yae Miko plans to run a rental service where people can try on Shrine Maiden outfits as a tourist attraction in various places. Combined with the latest camera technology from Fontaine, it seems like a real Mora maker.
Oh.
The Shrine Maidens in the Grand Shrine even asked me if I was interested in becoming a model. All I need to do is wear a Shrine Maiden outfit and smile to the camera. They also asked me if I knew any other cute girls.
What?
I immediately shared this idea with Rosaria. I feel like they can do something similar at the Church of Favonius with the garments they wear.
Wait, I don't think that,
Sadly, Rosaria found the idea of it too troublesome.
maybe it's for the better. Oh, I give Paimon a painting. Turns out it's not edible, but Paimon is still very happy with that gift.
Aoi, the general goods shop owner? Let me see.
Here, but be careful. It was painted by a famous artist, Utamaro. It's quite valuable.
Utamaro? I think I've heard that name before.
Of course! Master Utamaro's work can be found all over Inazuma after all. Did you see one of them in Ayaka's residence? The one that Paimon has right now isn't too shabby either.
Oh, I remember now. One of those paintings was used by Yoimiya as kindling, right?
Huh? Kindling?
Yeah. I think Toma used it as padding for table legs as well.
What? Padding?
And if I remember correctly, I also saw Sayu use a stack of those paintings as a cushion for her nap.
Sayu has several of those works? That can't be right.
Real masterpieces aren't mass-produced. If you ask me, that Utamaro isn't a real master at all.
Hey! The Komori Tea House is doing surprisingly well. They have a great number of visitors every day. Oh, we should also open a tea house! Paimon feels it'd be really profitable.
Well, if we do end up opening a tea house, then you're gonna be the boss for sure.
Huh? Deal! Paimon didn't think that you'd have so much faith in Paimon's abilities. Paimon will make sure to be a responsible manager and make our shop the best tea house in Tibet.
I don't think it need to be managed. Do you remember Taromaru?
Yep, he's the owner of the Komori Tea House, right? A lot of the clients go to the tea house to play with him rather than drink tea.
So I was thinking, if you were running the shop, you'd definitely be more popular than Taromaru.
Of course! Hey! So you don't really trust Paimon's management skills? You just want a mascot!
With the abolishment of the Vision Hunt decree, I guess the Sakoku decree will be the next one to go.
Here's hoping that everything goes well.
Let's encourage everyone to hold on for just a bit longer.
Yeah.
If we get the chance, let's find Atsuko and tell her that the sakura trees in her homeland are blooming.
How is that supposed to comfort her? that she hardly has any fancy kimonos in stock these days. So chances are that you won't be able to buy one, even if you can afford it. It's a real tragedy. Paimon wants to look glamorous, too.
But the Sakoku decree's been abolished. She should be able to import silk from Liyue now.
You're right! Great! So there's hope for Paimon's kimono dream after all! Just imagine it. Paimon emerges from Ogura's shop wearing a custom-made, pure silk, one-of-a-kind kimono. Total transformation! This Paimon's going places! No longer just a sidekick in the legendary Traveler's Adventure story. Oh no. Say hello to Paimon the Elegant, wearer of fine silks and fated friend of heroes. Wouldn't that be amazing? It would, wouldn't it?
What I'm hearing is, you want me to pay for your new wardrobe.
Exactly! You read Paimon's mind. See? That's what being fated friends is all about. So Paimon was thinking 7 different styles, one for each day of the week. Still not sure on the specific designs, though. Let Paimon think.
Suddenly, I'm not so interested in buying.
Free knowledge without having to study at all? Canned knowledge is amazing! Could Sumeru have canned knowledge about the different customs of the 7 nations, too? If so, Paimon could just open a can every time we get to a new place. Paimon wouldn't have to explain things ever again!
Or we could just open them all here in Sumeru.
But traveling wouldn't be any fun without surprises to look forward to.
Plus, if we opened them all here, I wouldn't even need Paimon as a guide anymore.
Okay, scrap that idea! No more canned knowledge! Let's save our mora for something else! Something like... Oh, tipping Paimon for guide services! Seems fair, right? The Eremites are a real motley crew.
There's certainly a diverse range of characters.
Yeah, that could explain it. Oh, Paimon can play lots of different characters, too! Judgy Paimon, knowledgeable Paimon, helpful Paimon!
And of course, the classic completely misses the point Paimon.
The first time we saw the wall of Samiel, Paimon was stunned! It seems to go on forever!
Well, it was built to protect the entire rainforest, after all.
And it's so tall! Who knows if you'll be able to climb all the way to the top?
I doubt it. Also, why do I have to climb it exactly?
Because it's right there.
Even so, no.
The wall of Samiel is right there in front of us.
I know, but it's way too...
But it's the wall of Samiel!
Fine. I'll go, okay?
All these Sumeru scholars seem to wear Akasha terminals, so they can get information from the Akasha system. It's like they're carrying an interactive encyclopedia with them, wherever they go. Oh, Paimon's kinda jealous.
Well, I'm not jealous. I have an even better encyclopedia that automatically follows me around, gives me the A to Z on everything in Teyvat, and the best part is, it can even talk.
Huh? Was that a compliment? Aw, you're making Paimon blush. Paimon definitely doesn't know as much as an encyclopedia. A to Y at most.
Well, you know, maybe if you ate a little less, you'd have room for Z too.
Hey! Arama, Arana, Araja, Arakavi. Whew. Aranara names are so hard to remember. The only bit Paimon's sure of is that they all start with Ara.
Right, so if you were an Aranara, your name would be Ara Paimon.
Yep, and as for you... Actually, they'd probably call you Nara Traveler.
Yeah, we're all Nara to them.
So, if there was someone whose actual name was Nara, what would the Aranara call them?
Nara Nara, I guess. Sounds kinda cute.
Yeah! what we usually eat.
Yeah, but their ingredients are top quality.
Yeah, that's true. Still, those mushrooms and fruits were so raw, it felt like they were gonna keep growing in Paimon's stomach.
You're exaggerating, right? You do have a point, though. Maybe the best ingredients don't need a lot of fancy cooking.
You're right. If the ingredients are good enough, they'll taste great, even when cooked with the simplest methods.
Just like Paimon. Just a little salt and pepper and...
Hey! For crying out loud! We're in Sumeru now! Don't you think that joke's getting a little old? How did a genie that big get into Dory's lamp?
There's only one way to find out. In you go, Paimon.
Not a chance! There's no way Paimon would fit in there!
Okay, well... If you want, you can be the genie of the Serenity Pot instead.
Ooh, great idea! Paimon's down!
You seem pretty excited about this.
Yeah! Paimon's been wanting to try this for ages! Poof! Didst thou summon me, O traveler from a distant land? Come on! Now you have to grant Paimon 3 wishes! Paimon's first wish is, bring Paimon lots of delicious food!
Paimon, you're not supposed to be the one making wishes.
Whoa! Healthcare is free in Sumeru?
Are you feeling unwell, Paimon?
No, not right now. Thanks for asking, though. Eating the street food on every corner has never sounded so tempting.
Your stomach is gonna punish you for that.
If so, Paimon will go see a doctor and get treated. It's all for free. It'd be a waste not to take advantage of this, don't you think?
Maybe. But then again, the treatment would likely include a restricted diet.
Oh no! So no more delicious food then?
That, plus the doctor would make you take the most bitter-tasting medicine ever.
Oh, okay. Maybe Paimon needs to reconsider this idea. So many people in Sumeru want to become scholars. Motivated by this ambition, they all study really hard to try and achieve it. But Paimon bets that the first ever scholar didn't set out to become a scholar. So what do you think the first ever scholar's ambition was?
Probably to get their research paper written as quickly as possible?
Huh? But isn't a scholar's ultimate goal supposed to be pursuing the highest and greatest knowledge or something? Paimon's sure that it must have been because of a fervent desire for knowledge that they became Sumeru's first true scholar.
Writing papers is how you pursue knowledge.
But what about when it's the highest and greatest knowledge of all?
Even then, if you wanted to prove it, you'd need a research paper. And after that, you'd need to start working on another paper to validate your original thesis.
Okay, Paimon's got it! Come on, don't look so sad. It's not like you have to worry about writing papers yourself. You've never had to write a paper before, right? Paimon wants to go visit the Amorta scholars.
When did you become such an avid student, Paimon?
Well, Paimon heard that the Amorta scholars' research is all about nature. Which means they must have to research which animals are edible and which ones taste the best. And that kind of thing. Paimon thinks it'd be really fun to help them out with their research.
In other words, you've got a craving for some tasty organic dishes.
No, Paimon genuinely thinks that it's a really meaningful research topic and wants to help out.
Well, in that case, I think the Amorta scholars might be more interested to find out about Paimon's species and behavioral patterns.
Gee, is that the time? Paimon just remembered we have something else more important to do. Sumpter beasts are adorable. Paimon likes how the people who keep them give them each a special name based on their most distinctive traits.
For all we know, the Sumpter beasts might be giving each of us a name in return. Maybe that's how they respond when we call their name.
Really? So what kind of name do you think they'd give us?
Moo moo moo.
How is anyone supposed to understand that?
A rough translation would be Vociferous pestiferous molliculus niveus microbipedal. That's the scientific name, of course.
Oh? What would the common name be then?
Noisy two-legged critter.
Hey, why keep only the negative traits? There are 6 Darshans in Sumeru. Ooh, it would be cool if Paimon had her own Darshan too. It'll be called Paimonology.
And what wisdom would Paimonology stand for?
Practical wisdom for everyday life.
So, Paimonology scholars would specialize in the art of cooking slimes in 100 different ways and never letting a single Mora escape their grasp and giving people ugly nicknames, etc., etc.
Whoa, you read Paimon's mind! Also, don't forget how to become the best travel guide in Tibet. Oh, this is a fantastic idea! Come on, let's go submit a Darshan application to the Academia! From this day on, you'll be the Grand Sage of Paimonology!
I'd like to decline the honor, please.
Did you know that there are all kinds of strange shroomkin in Sumeru?
Yup. Here's a fun one. Legend has it that there were some forest spores who couldn't live without mushrooms, and the two species gradually formed a symbiotic relationship with each other. Now they're known as shroom boars.
Whoa, that's a lot like us. Paimon can't live without you either.
If you can't live without me, that means I'm the shroom, and Paimon's the...
Boar! Hey, wait a second! The residents of the Grand Bazaar are all so talented. They sell their own woven goods, beautiful vases and jars, and delicious-smelling spices that make Paimon's tummy start rumbling. And they all sing and dance really well. Paimon wishes she could do that.
Well, if you're serious about it, there's no reason you couldn't learn.
What? Really?
Well, for starters, you have a natural advantage when it comes to dancing. You won't trip over yourself or accidentally step on someone's foot.
Oh, yeah! Paimon always forgets how useful flying can be. All right, then, let's go bust a move at the Grand Bazaar and watch everyone shower Paimon with admiration.
So that's what this is about.
People in Sumeru seem to take divination and fortune-telling pretty seriously. For starters, there's astrology, although only the scholars get to practice that. But ordinary citizens have their ways too. They can do divinations with just a cup of coffee.
It is the nation of wisdom, after all. It seems like people have an insatiable curiosity to learn about everything, including their own future.
Paimon heard that they can tell your fate just by looking at the bottom of a finished cup of coffee. Sounds way easier than climbing to the top of a tower and staring at the stars all night.
Oh, so you're interested in learning your fate now?
Yeah! Although, Paimon's really more interested in finding out what the coffee tastes like. Khadivan and Nisa kept talking about poor Biruni this and poor Sina that. Why do all these words have poor at the front?
Per means descendant and also student. So in this case, they're referring to themselves as the children and students of the great sages of old.
Huh. So that's what it means. From the way they were throwing these words around, Paimon was sure it'd be something to be proud of.
Wait, but isn't it?
Well, Paimon, for one, would much rather be known as the Founding Father than have a name that basically says, so-and-so's my daddy. Pretty embarrassing, don't you think?
Yeah, I have to admit, I've never thought about it like that.
It's not only Sumeru locals at the Academia, huh? There are students from other nations, too. Imagine leaving your hometown behind and traveling to a faraway and unfamiliar land in the pursuit of learning. How inspiring.
We travel to unfamiliar lands pretty often, too.
Huh. You're right. That means we're also super inspiring.
Not in the pursuit of learning, though.
Oh, so we're not as inspiring as the students after all. But we do know the best places to eat in Sumeru and who you can rely on to help you out. That counts as knowledge, right?
Yeah. And to many people, it could be extremely valuable knowledge.
so we're just as inspiring as them after all. The whole of Sumeru City is built on top of a giant tree. How amazing is that? We've seen lots of incredible trees on our journey, haven't we? There's our old stomping ground at Windrise, the frost-bearing tree on Dragonspine, and the sacred sakura on Inazuma. Sumeru's tree doesn't seem to have a fancy name, though. People just call it the Divine Tree.
Sometimes the most important things have the simplest names.
Really? Maybe you have a point. Long names would be kinda inconvenient if you had to say them every day. Anyway, people in the city only have to say down below, and everyone knows they mean the bottom of the tree. What's that saying again? Names aren't things themselves, they're just words for things.
Huh. So, is Paimon just a word for a thing, too?
Yeah! Kinda. But, wait, no! Paimon is just Paimon. So, with Sumeru having so many scholars in different darshans, do you think they end up arguing a lot? You know, just like the rivalry between Lee cuisine and Yurek cuisine in Liyue.
I'm sure they do. Conflict between different schools of thought is the most normal thing ever. As the Liyue martial arts novels say, wherever there are people, there will be conflict.
Wow, what a line! That's heavy. But the scholars in Sumeru probably don't duel like Liyue martial artists, right?
Maybe they settle things with a game of Genius Invocation TCG.
Oh, good point! A duel of wits. Paimon can just imagine it. When one scholar can't convince another in an argument, he takes out his deck of cards, calmly sits down opposite his opponent, thinks for a moment, and then secures his victory!
That does sound like something that would happen in Sumeru.
The game ends, and the winner says, "Good game," as a sign of respect to his opponent. After that, both sides are back on good terms.
Not necessarily.
Huh? Why? Whew. Port Ormos definitely has a different vibe to Sumeru City. It's a bustling area, and there's so many Outlanders. Plus, no one needs to spend all their time buried in their studies, which is nice.
Yes, but that's why they end up being disciplined by the port authorities. So you see, Paimon, if you don't study hard, you'll end up just like them.
Oh. Wait, what was that tone of voice for? Port Ormos is built on the ruins of the fortress of the Alliance of the Alliance of something, anyway. The name's too long. Paimon can't remember it. Anyway, that's what all the bookish people in Sumeru say.
Oh, you mean the Alliance of the 29 Ocean Days? Apparently the Alliance was formed by a bunch of arrogant pirate leaders, none of whom wanted to work for any of the others. They fought and looted each other constantly, causing endless chaos in coastal Sumeru. Finally, one day, they decided to enter into an alliance with one another and divide power equally between themselves. The members of the alliance were called Days.
Oh, and so after that, there was no more fighting and no more stealing, so everyone could get along happily and make a boatload of war together. Right? Right?
Well, presumably that's what they were hoping.
Huh?
Before long, they were forming factions again, and the infighting between them escalated into the biggest internal battle they'd seen yet. Their fortress at Port Ormos was completely destroyed, and all the Days were done for.
What?
Following that, an unprecedented period of peace finally came to Port Ormos, and the area began to develop into what we see today.
Huh. So the Alliance was just a bunch of dumb bad guys. Sino's super into that card game, Genius Invocation TCG, isn't he? Doesn't it seem kind of weird for the General Mahamatra to be into playing cards?
Well, not when you consider his hairstyle.
Huh? What has his hairstyle got to do with it?
You know, when you're playing a card game, the fancier your hairstyle, the more distracting it is for your opponent. What's going on with this guy? How did he manage to shape his hair like that? When your opponent's mind is consumed with thoughts like this, you'll quickly gain the upper hand.
Really? Then we better think twice before playing against him.
I don't know. I think I might just have an advantage over him.
But you don't have a fancy hairstyle at all. And your clothes look pretty normal, too.
But I do have Paimon. What's up with her? And what's that pesky flying companion of hers up to? As long as Paimon is floating by my side, Sino's mind will be consumed with thoughts like this. I, on the other hand, would be completely unfazed by his hairstyle. So I'd be able to focus, and victory would be mine.
Forget it. If you want to play cards, go get a funny haircut. Curry, curry in the air. Hungry children, it's time to come home.
Curry, curry in the air.
Wow, good job! So you remember the tune as well.
Good job to you too, Paimon. You sing really well.
That's because Paimon's got a great plan. Have you heard this story? Once upon a time, there was a hairy hound who was given meat to eat whenever the Sama churls started dancing. Eventually, the hairy hound started drooling whenever it heard the sound of dancing. Whenever we hear the curry song, we get curry to eat. So all Paimon has to do is learn the song by heart, and then in the future, whenever Paimon is craving a big bowl of tasty curry, all she has to do is sing it. Hey, aren't you gonna say something? Curry, curry in the air. Hungry children, it's time to come home.
Paimon, do you ever find the word aranara trips you up?
Why does it trip you up? Maybe that's because you don't really say anything most of the time. Unlike Paimon, Paimon has to talk all the time, so she never gets stuck on words.
Okay, well, try reading this then.
What is it? Let's see here. Arana the Aranara exercises Arara Kalari in the nearby area. Narana the Nara picks Padisaras in a parallel area further afield. Narana the Padisara picking Nara had arranged to invite Arana the Aranara to the bar to befriend Lombard. But alas, Arana the Arara Kalari exercising Aranara professed a preference to Padisara picking Nara, Narana, for venturing to Vanarana to view the panorama. On account of Arana the Aranara's antipathy to bar drama, Narana the Nara relented, and upon accompanying the latter on a Vanarana panorama adventure, encountered another Aranara named Arama. This must be one of those really weird dreams, right? But this headache feels pretty real.